Hello, welcome back to a brand new Pounce guide. If you're new to this series, I have other episodes on different maps covering sniping spots and shortcuts, and just little secrets you may not have known of on certain maps. Today we'll be covering Eyrie of Crows, which is by far the hardest map to Victor snipe on, but it's also one of the most satisfying and exciting maps to snipe on too. I will cover how snipes work on this map and what is possible and what isn't possible. I'll try my best to teach you exactly how Victor's Pounce works and how to use this information when sniping yourself. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video. In the main building, Victor can jump from the middle section very easily. This is great for getting around and if you're trying to snipe a survivor. Victor can also snipe on the pathways too, but you need to be careful with these tree branches. If he hits them, they can stop your snipe completely, bounce you into a completely different location, or cancel your hitbox. The best way around this is to aim your snipe so you go in between the tree. Take your time with this and make sure not to aim too low or too high. If you've seen my guide on how to hit over windows and pallets as Victor, you'll learn about the sweet spot, which is very important when doing snipes on this map, but also the section showing how his pounce works. I'll insert those clips here as this will help us in the next part. In this first section here, I'm going to try and explain to you how Victor's pounce works in general. Pretty much with Victor's jump, it's like an arch. He has a maximum height, and then he goes over that maximum height and starts to jump down. So shots over like railings, for example, you need to make sure you're far back enough you go over the railing, but not too far back that you won't get enough distance, and not too far forward you won't go over it at all. With pallets, you want to find the sweet spot where you're just far enough to get over it when your camera is fully aimed up. In this clip here, you'll see that I'm too close to the railing, so I won't go over it at all. However, even if I get the sweet spot, you will just hop over and not actually get any distance at all. So you've got to make sure that you are far away enough so you'll get a clean shot over. In these open parts with the tree branches, it's a lot easier to see and aim as you're not restricted on how far back you need to be standing to get the shot. However, you'll see with this gen snipe here, I get the snipe when my camera is aimed downward, but not when my camera is aimed up, so do keep this in mind. In this same area, you'll see I'm still able to snipe the survivors as I move Victor further away, therefore making the snipe tighter. This railing with the small windows is the hardest to get snipes from. You cannot snipe on this side as it's too tight, so you need to be further back or aim on an angle. The main reason this is so hard though is because you need to remember where the survivor is after peeking through the windows and then guess and time where they are going and attempt to snipe. Here's some clips of me trying and failing to snipe my friend here as I keep hitting objects and barely missing them. These kinds of snipes are possible, but they are incredibly hard and rare to pull off, which is why it's better to go for targets who are standing still, healing, doing gens and such. Survivors won't see or hear you from up there, so you have plenty of time to aim your shot on the gem, for example. On this shot, for example, it's a lot easier to snipe as your aim isn't as restricted and you can see the survivor a lot more clearly too. This side of the building with the open railing full of tree branches is a lot easier to snipe from as you can clearly see the survivor and have a lot more time to aim up your shot. Do be aware you still need to be on an angle as being straight on will still make you just bounce over. As a little side note, you can use the doorways to give yourself more range or more options where to aim from. With these boxes on the front side railing, you can snipe over them. What I do is peek through them and then go back and aim my shot remembering where the survivors are. But do be aware of the middle box that is slightly taller as you'll clip it and it'll stop your hitbox, so it's best to go over the left side instead. There isn't one way in place where to snipe survivors from. You'll see in this example, I see the survivors through the box like earlier, but I can go around and snipe from an easier place. The front part of the building is quite similar to the railing with the windows. You have to take it on an angle or use the doorways to get enough distance. Sometimes though, gen snipes are just not possible as you are so restricted on your movement. I tried to snipe this gen several times but I kept just barely missing or hitting objects. However, I reloaded the map and got a gen in a slightly different spot and I was able to snipe the same side of the gen in 3 different spots. That is one of the reasons this map is so fun and challenging to snipe on. You really have to think and calculate what angles and distance you could hit from. Here's a fun and very consistent snipe you can get from the front area. Do be aware of these little bush twig things. They will completely counter your snipe and hurt your soul. Just another example to show you what's possible on this map. Like I showed you earlier, you can get a gen snipe over these boxes. Just make sure to take your time and avoid the highest box. I did some testing with these graves here. This one with the higher fences, you can't snipe over. You'll just fall right in and die. There is one angle you can, but the survivor has to be in this one specific spot. So it's best just to go behind the survivors on this one. However, on this grave, where the gates are a bit lower, you can actually snipe over it really easily. I tested a little spot here where there's a hole. You can't get through it, but you can go through on the left side. To end off, I want to show you this fun little secret spot where you can prepare for a snipe when they unhook. I just place Victor there and switch when I hear a heartbeat. Hope you like it. Here's just a little compilation of some of the snipes I've pulled off on this map to show you what's truly possible. I'll pray you're ready. Now! Yes! It's not gonna work. It doesn't go far down enough. Never mind, it does work! Oh, yes! You ready? Now! That pretty much covers everything. I hope this guide gave you a better understanding of how to pull off snipes from this building. It took me a long time before getting my first snipe from there. It takes a lot of practice before you get used to how far Victor can go, and once you pull it off, it's so worth it. Please let me know in the comments down below what suggestions of what you would like me to cover on the twins next. And don't forget to check out my other guides going over all the different maps. If you do want to see more of my content, remember to subscribe. And with all that being said, as always, happy pouncing!